Hey folks, I'm Troy and you're watching TroyTube. One of the most asked questions I've had over the past several years is, can I come up with a quality color laser printable heat transfer? And I think we've done it. So the price of all printers has come down drastically, as well as the quality has increased drastically over the past several years. 15, 20 years ago, it was very expensive for even a small or medium business to have a color laser printer in their business. And we certainly didn't have them available as easily for home use. Today, color laser printers are pretty inexpensive. The one I have is a Brother I bought from Amazon, refurbished. It came just like it was a new printer, and I think I paid around $215, $220 for it. I'll put the link to that in the description down below in case anyone's interested in it. But very happy with that product. Produces great quality prints for me, and it was really those prices and the quality changes and everything has resulted in a lot of people having color laser printers in their homes, in their crafting rooms, and available for their crafting small business. So I got a lot of requests over the years for a quality laser transfer. There's been various ones out there for quite some time, but I was never really comfortable with any of them. They were really probably more along the lines of the cheaper inkjet printable stuff you could get from Joann's or somewhere like that worked okay, but they washed out pretty quick, or they cracked real easily and just weren't very durable. But it made it easy and cheap to make a custom t-shirt for a kid's birthday party or something like that. So you guys know me. One of the things I wanted to do is to make sure that the product meets several pieces of criteria. And the first one was ease of use. To me, the first 10 or 15 minutes experience with a craft product is the most important period. If you get frustrated in that first 10 or 15 minutes, you're less likely to use that product or buy it again. And the key to that, in my opinion, was one, that it has to produce easy quality prints, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But when it comes to cutting and weeding the product, a lot of these transfers, most of them that I've seen, are on a paper backing. And if you've ever cut adhesive vinyl and your blade is ever cut into the paper backing, that paper comes off when you remove the vinyl from the backing. And a lot of people think that's a transfer tape issue. It's not. It's your blade cutting too deep, so it cuts a little thin layer of the paper. The dark inkjet printable transfers that I sold years ago, we had a lot of complaints about that, because if that paper just got a little nick in it, it pulled off with the transfer. It's a real pain to deal with. So the product that we have settled on has, you can see the glare there, it has a plastic backing, a PET backing, and it is a slightly tacky backing, so you print on the bright white dull side, and so when you're weeding, it tends to hold the pieces on the backing really well. It's really easy to work with. I cut it on the Cricut on the everyday iron-on setting, weeded and cut beautifully. Could not complain one single bit about how smooth it is to work with. The second requirement that I had for it was that it had to feel really good on the shirt. These transfers vary when it comes to whether or not it's going to have a glare or any kind of a gloss to it. And I've kind of come to the conclusion across all the testing that I did that the ones there's a trade-off. If it's going to be a flat matte finish, it's going to feel heavier on the shirt and not be, feel like it's stretchy or anything like that. I have one here to show you as an example that I pressed on a cotton shirt, and if you can hear that, how papery it feels. It's very thick and heavy on the shirt. It doesn't feel like it's going to stretch at all. I just wasn't happy with this feel. Overall, that's what I saw. If it had a matte finish and it was, it looked a little bit better to the eye with no glare, it didn't feel very well. Personally, I'd rather it feel good than, to sacrifice a little bit of that glare or something. So our product, which is it's called dpiPrint. So this is going to be our own house brand product. That's how comfortable with it I am, that I'm making it our own product and working with the manufacturer. Is very thin. It does have some glare to it, as I can get it. The angle of the light just right there. There you go. See a little bit of a glare, but if you listen to it, it's nothing like the other one when it comes to how it feels. It's a much thinner product. As a matter of fact, if you look at the glare, you can see kind of the fibers through it a little bit with that reflection. Very thin. It does have a nice pretty nice little stretch to it, and just feels like, I tell you what, it feels a lot like a DTF transfer. Of course, you do have to print, cut, and weed it, but you can produce this within minutes without having to order custom DTF transfers or investing $8,000 or $10,000 in a DTF printer setup. And it makes it really easy to produce very colorful images. We sell this in an 8.5 by 11. We may have different sizes later on, but most color lasers are limited to 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14. So we may not do this in larger formats. I don't know yet. We'll see where this leads. All that's driven by demand, of course. But very happy with the color quality and the outcome and how it feels on the garment. And the next requirement, of course, was how's it hold up in the wash? That's what everyone likes to ask. And this shirt is one that we washed probably around 25 times or so. We kind of lost track of it. We did a couple things with it though. We washed it, and one important thing, it's on the instruction sheet, wait 24 hours before you wash it first time. But we didn't turn it inside out on purpose. The part of the care instructions is to turn the garment inside out. And what happens when you do that, that prevents other garments like zippers and buttons from scratching it up and beating it up and everything. We purposely did not do that. We wanted to see how durable it was. So this shirt has been washed about somewhere around 25 times probably. And so we're generically saying that properly applied and cared for, 20 to 30 washes should not be a problem at all for this product. If you look closely, you can see a little bit of distressing in the areas where the shirt folded, in the solid color areas, but it's not much actually, and it actually kind of looks kind of cool for it. It looks, since it's on a white shirt, it just looks like it's a distressed design. And very happy with this so far with those three aspects: ease of use, the look and feel, and the durability, holding up in the wash. Now, as you'll see here in this video, I did the print design, and I did a print and cut using a Cricut, and cut it, and then I weeded out the design. Then one of the real keys is to apply the transfer mask, which we'll talk about more about in a minute, but you apply the transfer mask to it after you've weeded it and remove it from the backing. It comes off the backing super smooth. It's really easy to work with. Place it on the garment, press it for 320 for 30 seconds at medium pressure. And then another important thing is to peel it completely cold. It has to be cold to the touch when you peel it. And then when you remove that mask, as you saw in the video there, you really pull it back against itself or roll it back. Don't pull it away from the shirt, just like a decal or anything. You don't want to pull it away from the surface. You want to roll it back as kind of the shear strength holds it onto the surface of the garment. So these come out really well. You can turn these out within minutes and make great garments. Tote bags, really good for things like that, because if you're not washing, they're going to last forever. They're going to last as long as the bag does. And backpacks or things like that, you can't apply it to nylon. There might be certain types that might apply to and hold up okay, but I can't endorse that really without a lot of testing, and that hasn't been done. But a lot of tote bags and things like that, it makes it really easy to apply to and do custom items that way. Now, when it comes to applying the transfer mask, like I mentioned earlier, the easiest way to do this is to remove the mask sheet completely from its backing. It is a little bit stretchy, so you want to be very careful not to let it stick to itself or anything. Lay it upside down on a table, and then apply your design face down to the mask rather than you trying to apply the mask to the design. It's much easier to do that way. And just squeegee it on a little bit, remove it, press it on your garment. Now, if your design is like a one large piece, you may not even need the mask. I use the mask every time because it doesn't seem to do any harm. It makes it really easy to transfer and tack it into place on the garment while you press it. You don't have to worry about it moving or getting a wrinkle in it or anything like that. And just makes it super easy to work with. Now, the big question is, where do you get it? You get it on our website at bulkvinyl.com, of course. Go to the HTV section and under the printable HTV. So it comes in a pack of 10 sheets with a nice instruction sheet that gives you all the instructions right here. It's real simple. There's not a lot of fluff. It's just straight to the point bullet points. And you get 10 sheets of printable heat transfer, and you get 10 sheets of the transfer mask in one package. Now we are launching this with an introductory price. The price will probably change a little bit, it'll probably go up a little bit once we get things settled down with the manufacturer and come to an agreement with them, but we've got enough of it that we're going to launch it right now. This 10 sheet pack of transfers and mask for $24.99. That is quite a bargain in my opinion. And so again, you get the printable transfer and the transfer mask and the instruction sheet in your package. Now we did some testing with several customers with this product, and so far it's been tested on Ricoh, HP, and Brother color lasers. All of them yielded great results. We had actually really positive feedback from everyone. No negative feedback at all on this product yet, and everyone who's tested it said they would buy it. Now there's one very important thing when it comes to printing these transfers. Number one, make sure you have the manufacturer's printer drivers installed. Without that, you don't get access to a lot of the settings. I've talked about this before with some of the sublimation printers, where Windows will detect the printer on your network, and it'll just install the generic Windows driver, and everybody just continues to print using that, and they don't know any better. So make sure you're using the regular driver from the manufacturer. The second part of that, and the reason is that you want to be able to set your print to photo. Typically with color printers, you have options. With inkjet and laser printers, most of the time you can choose whether your document is a document with text only, like a letter or a contract. It's a mixed document, maybe it has text in a photo, such as a flyer or a brochure, or just photo, and you typically want to set this for photo mode, and when you do that, it comes out great. I did see some that if you didn't set it to photo mode, that the toner didn't fuse to the surface completely, so as the product went around the drum in the printer, it kind of just repeated the toner down the page, and so you want to make sure it's on photo mode. Everybody that I've had tested so far, if they print on photo mode with the different color laser printers, it says it will work with an oil-based or a toner-based color laser printer, and so we haven't had any negative feedback yet, no compatibility problems reported yet. We'll see what happens when 1,000 people get the product and put it in there, but you know, so far it's held up really well, and really happy with this. So check it out on our website. You can get the 10-pack of transfers and heat transfer mask for $24.99, and look at that color. That is just absolutely incredible. One of the most impressive products I've worked with lately. You guys know me, I'm an engineer. I don't get excited very much about very many things, but I'm excited about this. This is a really nice thing that you know, we went through several different products, looking at them and comparing them and trying to compare, and those, we decided that those were the main qualities: was ease of use, the feel on the shirt, and durability in the wash. Those were the three main things we wanted to shoot for. So check it out. Again, bulkvinyl.com, go to the HTV section in Printable HTV and pick up a pack of it today. Hey folks, I just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone for the love, kindness, and support that you've provided to Tammy and I over the past several years. It's been almost 10 years, believe it or not, been 8.5 years since we bought our first Cricut, so we're almost a decade into new careers for both of us. So when you buy great products like Orcal 651, Thermoflex heat transfer vinyl, DPI sub, premium sublimation ink, blanks, any of those things that you buy from our site help support us and our employees families. Don't forget about our subscription and membership, which gives you access to our e-learning courses and also significant discounts on product purchases as well. So if you like our videos and everything we do, click the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and when you do, click the bell next to it so that you'll get notified when I publish new videos. And then in the video description, there's also links to all of our Facebook groups, our Facebook pages, so joining those groups, liking our pages, leaving us reviews helps us out immensely, and we thoroughly enjoy every minute of this journey along this path with you to bring love, kindness, and hope to the world using your crafting hobby or small business, whether it's been in person, on the phone, or through social media.